Thank you for joining us for our ASL Part 2. We're thrilled to be back. My name is Gordana, that's my sign name. And this is my daughter, Aleks, and that's her sign name, AL. Before we begin, I just want to let you know, Aleks will be teaching the ASL, and I'll be off to the side, but you'll hear my voice, which is really my voice, but it's Aleks speaking. It's Aleks communicating with you through ASL, just so there's no confusion. And then I'll pop up in front of you if it's me speaking. We like to do a little bit of back and forth banter, you and I, as mother and daughter. So just so you know, if I'm turning towards you, that's me speaking. I'll identify Gordana speaking, and then the rest, Aleks will be teaching the lessons in ASL. Again, I'm not a professional interpreter. I want to get that out there, right? No. But I definitely want to represent my daughter the best way and really encourage ASL as much as possible. And we're happy that people want to learn, right? So again, I want to thank the Grimsby Library for helping us have this platform to share with the ASL. And again, sorry, I'm voicing and signing, which is wrong. It's kind of hard to do at the same time. It's a big no-no in ASL. Again, thank the library and Ryan and everyone who's allowing us to have this platform to do ASL for the community, for everyone to watch as well. As many of you quite know right now, it's been very challenging for a lot of deaf and hard of hearing with everything that's happening with COVID and all the safety measures, etc. And the latest thing now is wearing the masks. So we're just demonstrating here. It is the proper way. But Aleks, do you understand me? Space apart. For me, my husband and I both are very frustrated. Every day right now we go to, honestly, it's really awful. But sometimes people, you know, it's a little bit of common sense on what's happening, especially, you know, in presentations, so I like to share it. When you wear a mask, with my mom and I, you know, we're close, we're sitting close together. But when you go out for food shopping or retailing or anything like that, like for example, as a retailer, Costco, everyone's wearing masks. But for me, and of course, wearing the mask when you talk, I can see, but I can't really see your mouth and with the expressions. I can see you're trying to say something, but the expectations are very, very difficult, and especially for deaf and hard of hearing. And you know, lip reading, it's very difficult to do that as well. So when I tell them I'm deaf, people in the retail stores, they're so confused. So just a suggestion, move your mask a little bit if you need to communicate. If you're working in retail or you're communicating with someone, put the mask back on, obviously, but write things back and forth. Patient and be patient, right? You have to be a lot of patience too. And even in the stores, for example, you know, go into the Metro store, the retail store for food. It's really difficult to communicate, right? The person with the mask, and a lot of the times there's a lot of gesturing going on to let me know, like move forward, wash my hands, etc. That's really important. It's great, but with the mask, it's very difficult to do. So just want to say that to you. All right. So I just want to say a couple of things too in regards to what we'll be going through for Aleks. We'll go through a lot of words, and we'll do some phrases as well. Okay, so I'm going to pass this over to Aleks to get started. Oops.
Well, Gordana, there's just a comment in the chat. Sorry, before I get started. Someone, or Daphne suggested it might be better if Aleks could even be a bit more centered, just so we can see her left side.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Better?
Looks pretty, yeah, that looks good to me.
Looks good. Thank you, everyone, for having you. Thank you for many of you to want to be part of this part 2. How many have you practiced since last time? If not, don't worry. We just want to say welcome to you, and we'll get through it. We'll do a lot of back and forth questions. If you have anything for clarification, want to keep it fun and keep it general. If you're curious about anything or not sure, I can answer anything. Believe me, I'm the expert here tonight. Now let's get started. We have a bit of a theme here. For example, we're going to go through a lot of vocabulary. I hope it's not too much. Remember, it's being recorded, so you'll be able to reference it later and match up the words and put together in a sentence to give you the basic part and start communicating ASL. So remember to practice. Best way is to do it in front of a mirror and use those expressions so you know what you're doing. It's a good way to practice facial expressions. That's important in ASL. You know, deaf people have great expressions, and hearing people sometimes are struggling with that. So just keep practicing that with your family and communicate. Don't feel that you can't do that. It's most important that you're willing to learn. Be honest with you. We want to see more people chat, like with deaf people or anyone that uses ASL. Try to talk, try to gesture, find any words or something that you're not sure. Let me know and I'll help you the best way I can. It's important. These are important steps. And just never doubt yourself. Now let's get started. We're going to start with the words. Oops. Okay. I'm just going to move up my screen a little bit here. I know. Okay. So we'll start with the first word. And again, I'll give you an example. When you see boy, girl, boy, anything above the hat, think like boy, hat is like a hat. So a girl, back in the days, girls used to have, this is where referencing from ASL, girls used to wear like a bonnet or like, that's where it came from, the sign for a girl. It's below the face, below the nose. So let's try that again. Boy at the top, because boys would wear hats. Not a long one, just hat. 2 times you would do it. Boy. Boy. Girl. Take your thumb and put it across your face. 2 times again. Girl. Now, the word for sun. Remember, again, for the masculine that's at the top, it's sun. Sun. 1 time only. Man. Man. But I'm going to show you again, don't worry. For woman, it's twice. Woman. 1 time, sorry, once, woman. Daughter. Remember how you use girl? That you do daughter. Now, the word mom. Mom. Dad. See how it's used, the masculine? Dad. For the next word, grandmother, you reference your grandmother. You use it 2 times. And the longer, say it's a great grandmother, you go great grandmother, like great, 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 whoever is there. If it's like a big family, great grandmother. Again, grandfather. Use your hands at the top. Let's repeat the part again with the, just to go back a little bit. So just to remember how you do boy, boy, girl, son, man, woman, daughter, mother, mom, father. See the patterns? See how the patterns always go like that? It's repetitive, the patterns of that. Grandmother, grandfather. You could spell grand like G-R-A-N-D, but usually when you still say great grandmother or great grandfather, you can use both ways. But I like to spell grandfather if I can do that sometimes, but the reference is on the head. Everyone's good with that? Okay.
Gordana, there's a question. Does it matter which hand you sign with?
No, it doesn't matter. There's whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever's your dominant hand is fine. But if there's a specific sign, it's far more advanced in ASL. If there's a specific sign, then you might have to use both your hands or dominant hand. But usually I'll give you an example, but that's too advanced right now. We'll just keep it, but right now, let's keep it simple using your dominant hand with your right hand or left hand, whichever one you feel comfortable. Doesn't really matter. Now, again, remember girl is down here. So for this next word, it's sister. Sister. Can everyone see this? I just want to make sure on the screen. Sister. Brother. Brother. Again, see at the top, we said, always remember half of your face. The top face, above your nose, masculine, below the nose, feminine. Cousin. If you're talking about boy, girl, we never know. We have to identify. For hearing, when you say cousin, you'd say my cousin Sally. You automatically know it's female. For deaf, my cousin, then I have to say the name, or my cousin. Cousin Tom, or cousin if it's used at the top. I don't identify the person. I don't say my cousin or my cousin girl or cousin boy. I say cousin. Like I might not say the name. I'll just say cousin. On the lower part is girl and cousin at the top is boy. And if I really want to be specific, I can spell the name. Aunt. Close your A for aunt. Uncle. Uncle is with the letter U. If you remember, we did finger spelling. That's the letter uncle, U. And aunt is A, and you stroke your face, A. Now this is important. Family. Do you remember what that letter is? Remember the alphabet, A, B, C, D, all of them we did? That's F. Now put them together and you have family. So you can use expressions like, wow, like big family, you just make the circle bigger. Small family. Together, the word together, and you gesture that with your hands again, using both hands, together. A couple other words. Deaf. There's so many different signs for deaf around the world, and what's commonly used here in North America, Canada, is the word this way, deaf. Hearing is used on your mouth. But in different countries, people say deaf like that. We don't use that. Here, we say hearing. In other places, hearing. Sorry, my apologies, interpreter apologies. And around the world, hearing is like pointed to the ear. It's hearing, but so you can hear. But here in ASL, it's pointing to your mouth. In Canada and America is hearing. It's like, dude, hearing, hearing. 2 times, flip it. Don't go backwards. Go forward like you're speaking. Like that. That means hearing. The word help. Use your hand and motion it up. Help. The word how. How. Again, depending your expressions. How, like, how's that possible? How? Like, remember to use your expressions. Me or I. You point to yourself, me or I. Sorry, my doggy's bothering me by the side here. He wants affection. Sorry, I'll show you in a minute. He knows how to sign too. No, the word no. Take your hand, cup it, and point to your face 2 times. No. No. Mine. My, same, or mine. Mine. And really definite, be definite towards it. It's mine. And again, using strongly or mine, like in conversation, depending on your conversation, mine or mine. If you're angry, mine. One time my mom stole my chips. I said, that's mine. Not true. We need chips, yes. Next, need. 2 times need, and depending on what you want. Again, you really need something, an emergency, need. Use your expressions, or I need, or I need. Need something. The word no. Yes. None. There's absolutely none. And remember, expressions are important. Oh, none or none. Not. Use your thumb. Please. Remember how mine, the word mine, now it's mine, but please. But it's also the same. With another sign for please, and looks very similar, is sorry. So do it again. Please, open fist. Oh, open hand, sorry, open hand. That's please. If you close your hand, that means sorry.
Yeah.
Can S or A, it doesn't matter. Sorry or sorry, it doesn't matter. Right. Not the right, but there's so many different signs, but we're doing right. Right. You are right. Used in that context. Right. Sign or a sign. 2 different words. 2 different words in sign. There's so many different examples of sign, but we're going to show you what's used if you would use in a sentence. So sorry. The word that. Wouldn't finger spell it. Say that. A lot of deaf talk a lot of slang. Oh, that. My car tire's flat. Oh, how? Like how so that? So the word that, it's kind of like a slang word in deaf. Doesn't mean about the tire, just slang talk for deaf culture. But we don't really do that. We don't say that, like, when you speak. But in slang for deaf, using that, oh, wow, the word that. That person's walking, that person, that, like that. Many definitions how the word in slang for the word that. But you won't get that right away until you start meeting deaf people. Want, the word want. Just once, want. Or you really want something. Yes, you want, what do you want, Alex? To go shopping.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Alex wants chocolate. Okay. When. Who. Long time ago, the sign was like who. That's an awful sign, pointing to the lips. That's a proper way. Who. Why. Or why. Use 2 different ways. Why or why. Why. It doesn't matter that way. You. Point to the person, you or your. You're a chocolate.
Okay.
How's everyone feeling with this, okay? Okay, so this is important. If, for example, I wanted to share with you about the provinces. So watch me. So be clear. When you talk about, does it have to be right or left? In some cases, yes, but signing back for, don't worry about. For Canada, it's on your, I don't know why, but I know there's a lot of signs, Canada, like it has to be that way. A lot of joking. Canada, it's almost like it stays there. Or, sorry, it can be on the left-hand side. Provinces. So this, so provinces are shown, like the word province is showing on your left-hand side of your shoulder, because every province has its own symbol. Like the Mountie Police, how Ontario, etc., like they have their own symbols. It's always identified on the left shoulder, or sorry, it can be either side. Sorry, shoulder, but I'm just using that as an example. If I'm showing provinces, I show it on the left-hand side, or vice versa. But usually, sign it with your right hand, show on left, vice versa. If you dominate on your left, you're going to show it on your right hand. So just switch back and forth. My apologies, interpreter apologies.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, it's actually Alex is telling me I didn't put the provinces order, but I did an alphabetical order.
Yeah. Map.
Alex wanted to follow a map, but we're going to do an alphabetical order. Alphabetical order, we're going through all the provinces, starting with Alberta. Alberta. I don't know why that sign is like that, but that's a sign for Alberta. BC, British Columbia, is just the letter B and C. BC. Manitoba. The letter M, back and forth. Almost like a cross or like a flag. Sorry, like a cross. Manitoba, across your shoulder. New Brunswick is the letter NB. This is a fun one. You have to use your hips, but I'll show you just from here. You it's a fun sign. If you could see that, that's Newfoundland. For Newfoundland Labrador, it is one sign, but you'd have to spell out Labrador. But people understand if you do Newfoundland like that, Newfoundland. But remember, use it down by your hips, not by up here, by your hips. Really from your hips. Nova Scotia. NS. NS. Ontario. Just the letter O and shape it around like a circle. Ontario. PEI, not like a pie. PEI. Do you have to finger spell it short? PEI. Quebec. Not like a Q, like that. Quebec. Almost like the letter Q, but just different system that way. Quebec. Saskatchewan. Do it again. SASK, short form. Saskatchewan. That's short. SAK. Do it again. SK. Easy for you. That's it. For example, you asked me how to sign. When you watch my vision, Canada, so if you want to talk about the provinces, see how my hand stays? and you're imagine, like, just visually imagine almost like a map of Canada. And I would do it again, hold up your hand, and I would sign out, oh, BC, and the next province, what, Alberta, and next one, Saskatchewan. So then it kind of pointing out where on the map. It's very confusing, so just keep your hand up and talk. For example, oh, I know in BC, I could almost visualize on the map of Canada where it is. Just kind of, you're identifying that. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario. Just keep your hand there, stay, and use your other hand. So you can imagine, you could almost visually imagine on the map where it'd be. For a deaf person, that's what they do. So that's where you kind of use both your hands when you're doing sign language. That's just one example. But again, that's more advanced when we start talking. Those are clarifiers for ASL, and that just to give you a visual example about ASL, how to, you have to visually think. For a deaf person, oh, we put a visual concept to it too. I got it, instead of just constantly spelling out or finger spelling. Having that visual concept there is important. Okay, I do have some fun words I want to go with, but you know, it's all about a little bit of fast food, because I know you all maybe must like some of this, and I know you're all excited about putting things into a sentence. Let's do some fun words, some common words. Tim Hortons, T and an H. Tim Hortons. Not bathroom. Show bathroom. That's bathroom, so don't confuse that. Unless you need a bathroom in Tim Hortons. Starbucks. There's so many different signs for Starbucks. Starbucks. Or Starbucks. So you know the logo that you see on? How she has her long frilly hair, that's the sign for Starbucks. McDonald's, really easy. It's the arches and your two M's. M. McDonald's. Pizza. Two Z's. For one time, just do pizza. So remember how you sign Z? Finger spell Z? Pizza. Pizza. Party. Celebrate. When COVID's finished, we're going to have a big party, I think. A lot of Starbucks, Tim Hortons, and pizza. Now we'll start with a little bit of the phrases. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning. Same. Oh yeah, good afternoon. You're wrong. I switched it, sorry. Good afternoon. Let me repeat. Good afternoon. Good morning. Remember, morning, like it's almost like the sunrise. Morning, afternoon, sunset, like the sun's going down. Goodbye. Bye. Very simple. Good night. Look at the horizon, like this is showing the horizon, the sun, and it's nighttime. Remember 3 things. So let's repeat that again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. So we're just gonna open up the door. It's too hot in here. Too hot. The room is so hot. Just hello, hello, hello. Nothing special, like as far as nothing difficult with that. Hello. Normal, just your normal self, how you would greet someone. When you say hello, hello. Wave. On my street here, everyone's constantly waving because everyone's walking. They don't realize that I'm even deaf, so it doesn't matter. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you? One time, it's stay. How are you? Or how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Again, different expressions, how you use it. Nice to meet you. You have to be careful of your signs. Don't like put it together. Nice, nice. Remember help? Remember the word help? Just use that. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. Your hands closed and through your mouth. What's your name? What is your name? What is your name? Again. You're welcome. You're welcome. You don't really have to stretch your hand out all the way. Just very simple. You're welcome. Unless you want to do a good workout, then you're welcome. So now we'll kind of go through the phrases and we'll practice that. But before we go on, how's everyone feeling? I'm just stepping it. We're dead. How's everyone feeling so far seeing the words? All right. Ooh, make some comments here. Oh, sorry, chat. Oh, sorry, we can't see it.
So yeah, everybody's saying good in the chat there, Gordana.
Okay. So we're not going too fast or anything like that. Good. Everyone's going to be experts soon. Okay, so we're going to start with some phrases and we'll go through that. And we'll incorporate the words that you have. And again, with the recording that will happen, you can go back and practice and use those words with those phrases. Again, it's very simple for now. The more you do, the more you practice, the better it will be. And when you meet Aleks, you're going to have to practice with her. Okay. So we'll start now with this. So I just want to introduce my dog, Diesel. D-I-E-S-L. What? I forgot how to spell his name. Oh my goodness. He's a good boy, but he's very spoiled. Sometimes he knows a little bit of sign. He understands my deaf voice. He understands, most hearing people don't understand my deaf voice. Imagine a dog understands me. I have a funny voice when I tell him, do you want bathroom? Or I even sign it to him as well. My cat even understands when I use the sign milk. The cat is ready for some milk. It starts meowing like crazy. So I guess it's feeding time. Both animals that I have, both my pets, it's funny that they understand my voice, even though it's not perfect. For the outside, when I go to speak, people are just staring at me. So I have to rely on my my iPhone to communicate sometimes or write down. Okay, so now, put these down. There we go. Sorry about that. My name is, that's just an example, Deborah. You would sign your name. Remember your sign name. You're not going to vent your sign name like deaf people, like my mom. The deaf sign, a deaf person almost have to give, it's part of the deaf culture and part of your personality. From me, my sign is A-L. When I was a kid, I thought that's such a cool name, so I left it short form, A-L. But really, it's a hearing sign, A-L. But a lot of deaf people, they have different personalities, and they that's how they give each other sign names. So you wouldn't really be giving yourself a sign name. You'd be finger spelling your name. So let's practice. My name is, and you finger spell your name, and then I live in Grimsby. You'd have to finger spell Grimsby. There is no sign name yet for Grimsby. Niagara Falls, that is the sign for Niagara Falls. Because the waterfalls, right? So that's the sign. Toronto has that sign. That's my favorite sign. You'd be shocked. For CN Tower, let me show you a fun sign for CN Tower. Our culture, the deaf culture really came up with it, but hearing people don't get it. But that's the sign for CN Tower. It doesn't mean swear word. It's actually means CN Tower. It's the middle of the pole. It's the tallest. A lot of hearing people, when they see that, ooh, that looks insulting, but that's the proper way. Use your finger. It's a middle finger pointing up for Toronto. It's not an insult, just in case you see that. Interesting fun fact. I just wanted to share that with you. So we'll go back again. My name is, you'd finger spell it, Alex, and I live in Grimsby for now, or unless you live in Toronto. I live in Grimsby, and I spell it out. Next thing, I am hearing. Nothing. I am hearing. I can sign. I can sign with you. I can sign with you. I can sign. I'm a student. I'm a student. I am a teacher. I'm a teacher. I'm retired. I am a librarian. I am librarian. That shows a person, and library is the word, so you could show the person the occupation of the person, which is library, and then the person showing is the person. So, oh wow, okay, so if someone says library, what person? I'm part of the staff, librarian. I am a grandparent. Parents. Grandparents, grandparents. It's almost the same. It's just you push away your hand for a grandfather. So again, I'm a parent. One time. A grandparent. Push it out further. Push it out further. Sound good? Okay. So we didn't get this on the board here, but we'll be practicing other phrases as well. Remember, we use the word family. I have a okay. Again. See, I was doing it so quickly and my mom was doing something else. You're fired, Mom. Thanks. Thanks, Alex. I'm going to say, good evening. My name is Alexandra. I live in Grimsby and I'm learning ASL. I think you need to do that slower so they can practice. Yes. One more time. Good evening. My name is Alexandra. I live, always point to yourself like me, myself. I live in Grimsby. And again, I'm learning ASL. Again, point back to yourself. Next phrase, practice. Next, see how I use the word next? I have a big family and we have a small family. You could use it that way. We love to play games and have big dinners. Dinners. Again, to say I am a big family or I have a small family. We love to play games and have big dinners. Small dinners or small dinner. Show your expression. I can't wait to travel. Travel, that's a sign for travel. Of course, as soon as possible, I need to go. One of my favorite places is what? Santorini in Greece. So you have to finger spell all that. Any place of travel. I can't wait. I can't wait to travel. My favorite place in Santorini in Greece. So finger spell that out. Can I help you find something? Can I help you find something? What, when you're doing a question or something, can I help you find something? See my face, the question mark? Not like this. Can I help you find something? I'm lost. If you just sign it to me without an expression. My eyebrows, use of expression in my eyes is very important. Are you ready to order? Are you ready to order? And sign in English, which is, are you ready to order? But in ASL, it's ready to order, and a question mark. Ready to order? My favorite treats at Tim Hortons are the chocolate donuts. See how you do donuts? Donuts. Do the circle and like the R and make it. Don't be hard on yourself. You can have a treat. My favorite treat, my favorite food at Tim Hortons is the chocolate donuts. Show the word favorite. The word favorite. The next phrase, show the word. Favorite, that's the word for favorite. Use your middle finger there and show it your favorite and do expression. My favorite, or I really enjoy it. Make sure you have a great expression on there. My favorite restaurant, Memphis. Do you know where that is? It's really popular barbecue. I love it. Teddy's, my favorite one, and they have the best chicken wings. I know, I heard that, and this is my favorite. My favorite restaurant, and point to your mouth. Okay. Please make sure you wash your hands and stay 6 feet apart. But deaf don't actually say 6 feet or 2 feet, just like show the sign, stay apart. Apart bar. How are we doing that? I know it's a lot. This is Gordana speaking. I know that was a lot to cover. We just want to make sure that you have a few phrases in there, and again, could go back to practice that to get the theme of it. We want to make sure that we have everything covered on that. Any other questions or any specific signs that you may want to ask Alex to show you that you can incorporate what you've learned tonight? I see the chat box. Do you want more words?
Hey, Gordana, there's a few questions there. I don't know if you see the chat or not.
No, sorry, we don't. Maybe I need to close my.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I can read them out to you. That's no problem.
Actually, do you mind reading it so then I can sign it as well, Ryan? Thank you.
For sure. Yeah. So the first question is, how do you say "this is my dog"? From Audrey.
Okay, Say that again, sorry.
How do you say "this is my dog"?
This, point to it, this, my dog. Or I have to stand up and show you, dog. Can you see that?
Yeah.
My dog, or you stand up, my dog. It's like you're calling your dog.
Cool. And there's another question. What kinds of events normally take place in May for Deaf Month? I think that's not the full title, but you know what I'm talking about, right, Gordana?
Oh, I just want to show you my sign for my dog is like a hot dog. So Alex didn't answer that question. Unfortunately, because of coronavirus, a lot of the events have been canceled. But May second week, it's very important. Second week of May, and the weekend, second weekend, Friday and Saturday, the second week of May. All my life, I've been involved with the deaf culture and deaf community, and it's really May is Hearing Awareness Month. So we specifically picked that the deaf community. It's May Awareness. It's a lot of it's held in Toronto, where a lot of communities get together, and there's a lot of trade booths and a lot of communities gathered to talk about different things. Information about accessibility. There's a lot of workshops. There's a lot of artists. There's a lot of unbelievable artists that express themselves through art. They're amazing, beautiful deaf artists. Different cultures that we're not even aware of from different communities that also join as well. A lot of crafts as well. You have no idea. I suggest that I highly recommend. You'll really get to see deaf and hard of hearing, but a lot of deaf, that how they communicate, how we communicate with an interpreter, without an interpreter, to see that a lot of deaf people don't use voice. There's a lot of signing, a lot of gesturing. A lot of every year they change the old Maple Leaf Gardens for 3 years. Yeah, Maple Leaf Gardens. Sorry, it's huge, and it's also a great workout for you, so you can walk around. But there's a lot of deaf people there, like professionals, a lot of deaf professionals that go there. But I express that you go there. So sorry, I'm just looking at the second question. Brad. Yeah, now we see it. Sorry.
Okay, great.
Says 2 takeaways. First, our expressions. And Alex says, I'm sure your wife enjoys watching you practice in front of the mirror. No offense. No offense, but I used to do speech therapy. I had to do it in front of a mirror. Imagine me being deaf and have to learn how to do speech therapy. It was terrible. I have bad memories of that. So I have a lot of practice in front of a mirror. Imagine as a deaf person and trying to speak in front of a mirror. Is that my fault? No. Sorry, I'm going to confess to that as a mom, not knowing and learning when Alex was deaf. The most important thing that I thought is I need to teach her how to talk, to speak, in order to communicate. Because a lot of the families, the language is a barrier. And so I have been an interpreter her whole life. So I have to change back and forth from English to signing, and even in my language with my family, Serbian, Croatian. So I have to think my hat. So a lot of the times I postpone a lot of things for you, right? Everybody laughs at the tape. For example, I'm just talking. Alex always says, when we have family dinners, very European family, so a lot of slang, sarcasm, a lot of talking, so many people laughing. I'm eating my food. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? My mom goes, oh, don't mind it. I'll tell you later. I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting so angry. Oh, my mom, I didn't realize that my mom has to do it translated in like 3 different languages. First from Serbian Croatian to English and then back to ASL. So like sometimes she has to sign in for the family because not everyone understands it. So she has to switch back and forth. So she's speaking and I'm still waiting for the joke. Now I laugh at it later, but when I was younger, I didn't laugh so much because I always felt out of the loop, not on purpose. A lot of stuff, yeah, kind of censored on my part. Got the question, how old were you? I wasn't identified that I was deaf because there was no communication. There was a lot of speaking. Like I felt like I was in a bubble. So strange. So I was almost 2 years old when I finally was identified or that I am deaf. So my mom had to learn sign language, and it wasn't until like I was almost 2.5 years old. I think I still have the book here. My mom grabbed a book and was practicing signs. So the very first sign was milk. I was really young. I kept pointing and screaming. Imagine there's no communication, no language, communication generated. So imagine 2-year-olds, hearing 2-year-olds, they do have some words. They babble, they mouth, they do have some words and accents. But for myself, I couldn't. I just kept gesturing a lot. I didn't have voice. I couldn't speak. So it was a lot of gesturing and frustration. So when my mom was learning from a book, she learned from a book and trying to teach me. So I recommend though too, doesn't matter if you're hearing or deaf and communicating in sign language. I think it's very important for children, and I highly recommend that as well for anyone that wants to learn a language. Another question, are employment opportunities challenging? Opportunities, absolutely. I have a long journey for that. Not everything's perfect, but it's very frustrating for sure. Of course, my impression on my resume, I look really good. People are like, oh wow, she's qualified. Oh my gosh, let's hire her. But when they meet me, I'm deaf. Ooh. Maybe next time we'll have the interview. It happens a lot, and I never get the interview. I have a lot of experience. I applied, I swear, over 500 times. I would never get an interview. Sometimes I gamble. It's a big barrier of language, and people don't take the time to think, oh, do I have to get an interpreter? Like, how does that work? But it's important. The Accessibility for Ontario's AODA that's out, it's still trying to catch up though too, and the barriers that we face for many people that are deaf or hard of hearing. It's still a huge challenge, the employment issues. So that's really, the question is, I did an ASL with my hearing son at 9 months. It took a lot of stress out of our communications. That's normal. That's right now. I have met some parents who have kids that are hearing and don't want to speak, and they don't feel comfortable for whatever the reason may be. Maybe their choice or something. And when they start signing, they feel comfortable. And there's no delays as far as in language or communication. So some people fear that language is difficult. The most challenging part is language development. So don't worry, if they're hearing and they want to learn ASL, that's important. I think it helps with communication. And they're autistic. Yes, I have 2 cousins, and both are autistic on the severe spectrum. They do not use voice at all. They find it very discomforting, and they love signing. And I really communicate well with them, and the gesturing but using different signs one-on-one or group. It's very difficult for them, and sometimes voice and sounds are triggers for them. but they feel comfortable signing. There's no voice, no interruption, so that signing helps. Everyone is different again. I met so many autistic kids who prefer sign over voice. And I don't blame them. I get how they feel, what's their comfortable. It's not to be specific that you have to speak. It doesn't have to be specific to any special needs kids. For any kids, it's great if they can sign. Brad says, my question, awareness is important. That sounds like there are many ways employers can accommodate. Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, I'm just answering a question. Alex, you're ahead of me. About accountability. Accommodation is important for many employers. One thing is hard for me on a resume. I don't want to tell them I'm deaf. I shouldn't identify, because you definitely lose your risk. It's a huge red flag. So I never tell them. If I put, why do I have to tell you that I'm deaf? Or why should anyone with any type of disability, whatever, anything, do I have to put that down? It doesn't matter. Like if you're hearing, whatever, would you say, hi, I'm hearing? It's just a judgment. Those are my opinions. All right. I think this is good. I'm just jumping back in here. I think that hour just felt fast. That 1 hour, we finished. Yeah. Oh, she said, Alex says she's hot in here. I know I had the light on and we closed the door so the dog wouldn't bark, but the dog keeps jumping on top of us here and we keep putting it down. But thank you. Thank you all. Like, we're going to continue as best as we can. And again, my apologies for the interpretation if I miss all that. Alex is used to me, but the fact that everyone is wanting to learn ASL and expressed it here on this platform is amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And on behalf of the library, Gordana and Aleks, I'd like to thank you both for taking your time out of your day to do this and teach everyone and talk about your experiences. It's been great. So yeah, I want to remind everyone that you can catch this as a recording as well on YouTube. And hope everyone has a good night. There's a thank you from some people, so other people are thanking you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a good night, and see you around.